from what you've seen in your time being an agent, what are some good overseas exposure camps that you have heard of that you can say, like, you know what, this is a good exposure camp for guys who want to play professional basketball, who want to pick up an agent or where they're going to be? Because you got a lot of exposure camps out here where guys are being bamboozled in a sense, where they're like, yeah, the agents are watching live stream, and you know, a lot of these guys are paying $500, $1,000, and they're not getting crap. You know, they're not getting crap, man. So, do you know from the top of your head any exposure camps that you can name that are respectable in the overseas market?
Yeah, I completely agree with what you said. And to be, 100% completely honest with you, I haven't found one yet that I would say is a good opportunity for a guy looking to go overseas. And I say that because that's a little bit of a loaded question. And I kind of look at it from all angles in terms of, one, is there coaches in the gym? Two, is it brand professionally? And three, what's the level of competition that you see? And essentially, when you guys who go to exposure type of camps, they're all usually around the same type of skill level. They're not your high level guys that are just completely jumping out of the gym, but you can see, a high to mid-major guy in there every now and then that's just hooping. So the only reason I would say that I haven't really found one is because I personally have not been to an exposure camp where I've seen more than 5 coaches in the gym at one time. And if my whole point of the camp is to be seen with exposure, then I don't think that, 5 coaches for the 200 players that are here, it's not a good sample size for me to feel like, okay, I feel like enough eyes saw what I did today. 2, I think that those things are just completely overpriced for what you get. If I'm going to Vegas and I'm playing 3 guaranteed games, 4 guaranteed games, where's that $500 going to? That sort of thing. So if I'm a player, I tell guys all the time when they ask me that question, what's a good overseas camp to go to? A lot of guys think that the Vegas one is great, kind of where I saw you at, just because it's happening around the same time as Summer League. So I would say if you were to go to a camp like that, then your best bet is to go to one that is in Vegas. And the reason I say that is because, like I said, Summer League is happening at the same time. So, a lot of times overseas teams know that stuff is going on. So, you never know. They could leave a Summer League game and just go check out an exposure camp just to see, what's in the gym. You might find a diamond in the rough, but more times than not, teams can find guys that are at those camps just by, vetting through their email. Teams get emails from thousands of agents a day. So, if I'm just going to, from a business sense, would I rather go sit in the gym and, potentially waste 2 hours trying to find that one player that can make my team great? Or do I just reach out to my overseas contact that I have that has found me my last 4 point guards the last 3 seasons? So I think that in terms of overseas, it's just not those exposure camps just aren't the best way to go. And if I were a player, then what I would do is I would ask the camp, the host, can you give me a list of the teams that are going to be there? If they can do that for you, then I reach out to those teams directly if I'm a player. Hey, my name is Solomon Yon. I'll be at this camp in Vegas. I look forward to potentially meeting you. I'm on team XYZ. My number will be 20. So, I mean, there's a way to be proactive about it, but I tell players, if you seriously want to get some exposure, I tell guys a lot of good things that they can do is, one, go to a G League tryout. And the good thing about those G League tryouts is, like I said, I worked for the Legends, so I know that they go into those tryouts with no ulterior motives. I've seen guys walk in the gym that didn't play Division I basketball that have been signed by the Texas Legends just because they went out and they had a great day just hooping. So I would say go to every local G League tryout that you can. They're cheaper than the overseas camps, but at least you're being seen by G League personnel. And to piggyback that, a lot of teams have, like you were saying in the text, a lot of teams have semi-pro teams within the city of the G League team. So a lot of times those organizations are connected, and they'll recommend players to their semi-pro teams. So to make a long answer longer, I would say I can't confidently give you an answer on an overseas camp that I feel confident is good for exposure at this point.
No, I love that answer. I definitely agree with you, man. Those camps are overpriced. Even
Right.
even with me, when I went to the Heart Sports Management, I questioned it because I was like, oh, heck no. Like, I don't need, especially when you played overseas a few years, you're like, what am I? I'm not doing this. You can never accurately depict the numbers of guys who got a shot from an overseas exposure camp. Because, I remember I went to one year and I got nothing from the camp, but I got an overseas job. And so they counted me as their success story, even though it had nothing to do with them. And, I think a lot of these camps do that as well, where they look at the list of guys who attended the camp, and these guys may have went to the G League Open tryout, like you just said, did well for themselves, did it all on their own, but you know what? They're going to take that credibility because you went to their camp. And so now, next year, when you're looking at the list of players who succeeded from the camp from the previous season, you're going to be like, oh, shoot, this dude went to the G League. Maybe this is my chance to go to the G League.
Right. Misinterpreted stats, for sure. Misinterpreted information.